I'm kerfuffled. I went on space tour.
What is kerfuffled?
Kerfuffled, I think means I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass already. Sorry, people make mistakes. We don't have the luxury like when you're typing to backspace and edit.
You get backspace speech,
dude. I wish you can backspace speech.
Yeah, I think you can. It's called apologizing.
No, no, like it never existed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, you mean like to go back in time to change what you say?
Yeah. Apologizing is like hard. It sucks, obviously. I mean, it doesn't suck. I'm just saying it's like it takes a lot. It's tiring.
Apologies cause so much effort.
It's so much. Think about all the times you've apologized. It's a lot of, you have to sit down, you have to think about it. You got to make a big decision, and then doing it, and then watching the person's face. You know what I'm saying? They're always like kind of like this, or they're like, yeah, apologize.
Yeah.
And then you're vulnerable.
Yeah, totally.
It's hard, man.
Apologizing is, I find it really easy, bro. Like, honestly, I just admit to it immediately.
But you're good at that.
Oh, yeah, I'm great at admitting my faults. I do it all the time. And I just want to say this, bro. This is our first episode. Bro, Dave, it's our first episode.
This is the first time. And this is how I like to start things, at the beginning, not knowing where we're at. And then we go right into it. See, I already can feel the dynamic here. You are the responsible one.
Me?
Yeah, I mean, you have the order. You put the order in, right?
Well, I'm the one who would apologize. You're the one who don't apologize to nobody.
I never said that. This is incriminating evidence. I said I'll apologize. I'm saying it's exhausting to apologize. I've apologized to many women in my life. Let's start. Many family members and a quadruple amount of friends I've apologized. So I've done my fair share of apologizing, and I'll continue to apologize. I'm just saying it's exhausting.
Yeah, and you're like, anyway, I'm sorry for this rant.
I go, I apologize for this rant. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I used to have a hard time. Well, I'll tell you this. Like, my dad has a really hard time apologizing. I don't think my dad has ever said I'm sorry. Like,
ever.
He's maybe like on accident, but like he's just like.
What do you mean by accident?
Like, I think one time he was like he's just like so proud.
Yeah.
He's so proud of everything, and like he just doesn't want to feel like weak in a lot of ways, which is a lot of Arab men have that. Like they find it so weakening to say excuse me.
What's your dad's background?
He's Iraqi. Yeah. So I am Chaldean Assyrian. My parents are from Iraq.
Okay.
And that's my background.
Well, just so that they have context, right? If someone's watching
totally.
or listening and stuff like. I'm Lebanese Catholic, so my father also has a hard time apologize. He's apologized, but it is I guess, yeah, he's done it by accident, I guess. Actually, I don't even remember what he's apologized. No, he has. Sorry. He always goes to because my mom's name is Layla, so he's like, Layla, man, I'm sorry, man. Like, she's like a germaphobe and OCD. So he had this, I think I told you this story. So he would call her bleach.
He called her bleach.
Yeah. Like to us, he'd be like, oh, bleach, man. She's cleaning, right? And I think one time he tried to present that joke to her in front of us for the first time. So she said she did something and he goes, okay, man, it's all right, bleach. And then she kind of turned, she goes, what the fuck did you just say? She got so angry. She goes, bleach, huh? Bleach. You gonna say this in front of your kids? Are you and she just kind of did this rant, and he buckled. Like you could tell he started sweating, and then he just goes, Layla, man, I'm sorry, it's a joke. Like, your joke bombs so bad.
Yeah. You say sorry.
Have to apologize at the end of it.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Like doing it on stage, you say a thing that doesn't work, you're like, I'm sorry.
I've done that too.
You apologize to the crowd.
I mean, yeah, when you bomb so bad that you have to tell them I'm sorry. You have to tell the audience after. Like, I've done that for sure. I bombed and then after they'd be like, hey man, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I've also bombed to a point where like I think I said some joke and there wasn't a lot of people in the crowd. So I said some joke and I was like, and then that happened. Like I said, and then it was quiet. Then some guy in the back was like, what? You see her face like, what? And then I paused and I was like, I'm sorry. I said, I'm sorry that I heard this. Sorry. Like, he like forgave me.
One time I performed to a room full of candles just by chance everyone had left, and I was bombing so bad that a candle went out. Now, granted, it could have just went out on its own, but I mean, when you're on stage and then there's 10 lit candles and one goes out, you're like, I'm not doing well.
Even the candle is like, man, fuck this 2-drink minimum.
It goes, I don't want to shine anymore.
Yeah, there's no more.
That's what I heard it say. I don't want to shine anymore. I don't want to give you light or hope.
It just paused. And then you started killing and came back. Oh, what I missed?
It's a ghost. That's how bad I was bombing. Went to the ghost world. The ghost blew it out. Can ghosts blow out candles? I don't know.
No, bro. But honestly, I'll tell you this, bro. Just real quick about ghosts.
You have 10 minutes on ghosts.
Yeah, I have a lot of. Well, you know what I was really thinking about? Like, this is actually very much on topic. Do you know how like ghosts, when they would basically ghosts are interstitial beings. They're basically caught between our reality and the after reality, right? They're somewhere in the middle. So while they're stuck in the middle, they can basically communicate with people, and ghosts try to scare people. One thing they used to do is they used to like move a chair. Yeah. Or they'll throw a book on the floor. Yeah. But like, as far as like bookshelves, no one's reading anymore. So ghosts are just like, the fuck do I do?
Are you saying ghosts are becoming hacky?
Oh, they're so hacky, bro. I think they're just turning on iPads. And then you're like, thanks. And they're like, it's supposed to scare you.
The ghosts become helpful.
Yeah, basically.
As opposed to scary. I told you this story before about when I was a friend of mine, you know, too. So it's like very funny guy. I think one of the funniest people I've ever met. Mark DeBonis. Canadian comedian. Very, very funny.
One of the funniest guys ever, Mark DeBonis.
Yeah. He was another comedian, also very funny comedian, Ron Josso. I think he's
hilarious,
like
Ron.
Going on the road in LA, and he's like, you know, can Mark stay? He's like, Mark was like going to stay with me for like 3 days. And at the time, the person I was living with, I think they were out of town. I think. And they were like, so he was like in the living room. That's where he was sleeping. So when we got home late at night, he goes to bed. I go to bed. I wake up in the middle of the night and I come out to the kitchen, I think, to get water. And her light is on and the living room light is on. And he's like, he's not like under covers. He's like sleeping like the Undertaker, the wrestler. Like
DeBonis?
Yeah. He's just laying with his arms on his chest, like crossed, I guess. And I go, Mark, and I don't know why I was whispering in my own apartment, but I was like, Mark, I go, what's going on? Why aren't you sleeping? And he just looking at the ceiling, he goes, and he talks like, yes, he goes, hey, right? He talks like kind of like Sylvester Stallone. So he goes, there's ghosts. I was like, what? There's ghosts. And he's like whispering. He goes, there's a ghost in your apartment. I go, there's no ghost, man. Just go to bed. And I was like pretty angry. I was like, just go to bed, dude. You're like older guy. Like,
yeah, he's a grown ass man.
You're a grown ass man.
Yeah, he also looks like a ghost.
He does. Yeah. That's so maybe it was him. Go to bed. I wake up in the morning and I walk in, you know, like you're like laughing and shaking my head. And he had folded all the stuff and he's sitting next to it on the couch, still distraught. Okay. So I don't know if this guy slept. I go, Mark, huh? Ghosts? Like, and the way the apartment was set up, so this is the living room and the hallway. There's a hallway to the bathroom from her room, and
his girlfriend?
No, just the person I was living with at the time. And he's like, I'm like, ghosts, huh? You're a grown man and ghosts. He goes, I'm telling you, man. I heard talking, and you said your roommate is not here. I was like, yeah, man. And then a man walked out of her room into the bathroom. And we both like this and buckled and just left my own apartment because we were like, what the? We just couldn't put it together because we couldn't put it together. We leave and we're outside and he's like, I told you it's ghosts. I go, it's not ghosts, obviously. It's a human being, but who is this person in this apartment? And I text my roommate and she's like, oh, man, sorry, I forgot to tell you that my friend was going to crash there. So Mark thought it was a ghost.
How come the guy didn't like announce himself?
We talk about that till this day. Didn't announce himself, didn't say anything. I think I don't know. So it was just a lot of weird, and I'm telling you, we're not making it's very
Bro,
true.
What if your friend is a ghost?
It could be too, yeah. I could have lived with a ghost in 2016, dude, in Los Angeles. I lived with a ghost.
That's fucking crazy.
And then she was so nonchalant about it. And I was like, yeah, I didn't want to be like, what's wrong with your friend? But yeah, but Mark being like, it's a ghost, dude, he was shook.
Well, also like me, like also Mark didn't have the courage to be like, "Hello, who is it?" Just ask a question. Bro, if you ask a ghost, "Who are you?" If they say nothing, ghosts never talk, bro. They never they're so fucking rude.
Well, they're dealing with you said they're not
yeah,
in the
bro,
right
but
world.
still, man, like have some manners.
Yeah, look, I agree with you. Look, before we go further, I don't want you to think that I'm against you. I think they don't have no manners at all. One, they're showing up unannounced. Well, I mean, maybe if it's their house that they lived at and they're ghosting.
Their stories are also so wild. They're like we'll stay in a Civil War house. Like, yeah, so they say that Matilda has occupied this residence. Now, Matilda was tortured with Doritos and forced to eat stale hot Cheetos until she perished. You can still hear her crunching.
Dude, it's never a ghost story where like the ghost was doing croquet or like serving someone lemonade. It's never peaceful. Yeah. It's always like they've been taken and they've been like divided from their family. Yeah.
I remember one time they were like, then Matilda, after she was dragged by horse and carriage. I'm like, dragged by horse and carriage? Like they say you can still hear her saying, help! Help!
They always say, why do they say that? They always go, you can still hear them cry for help. I was like, don't give me that info. I don't want that info.
Bro, but also it's just like, man, I do feel like ghosts that just have like a lit life. Like it's not like, oh, this is Tyler. They say if you go to Coachella, you can still hear him saying, go, go, go. You can still hear him taking Molly.
Why is the person British?
I don't know. I just got back from London, player.
Hey, look, player. You don't have to tell me twice. I love a good London accent.
Oh, bro,
it is, man. Like it sometimes like it sometimes soothes my soul.
Yeah,
right. Because it's like this, I don't know how to do that accent. I wish I could do that accent.
Oh, bro. Well, that's what this podcast is about.
It's about teaching
you. Yeah. well, bro. Man, you're so funny, bro. And like, I'm so glad that we're like doing this, man. And I feel like we met in New York.
Yes, at the Arab Comedy Festival that took place at Gotham. Did I just do involuntary promo? It happens. I look at the camera. It happens every year in New York, November. Get your tickets now.
Get your tickets now. No refunds.
No refunds. But yeah, that was what year was that again? Sorry.
Man, I think that was like maybe 2017 or 16.
It was 17 because then I moved to New York around that time, maybe, or 2018. That's wild that we've known each other in this short amount of time, but I feel I've known you for 20 years.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy. When you said 2017, I go, whoa. Was that the same year or different time? Remember when we both got high and we missed
with Mo?
No, I got super confident. I said, I don't need the maps to get on this. I'm like, I live here. And then I overshot our subway stop, and I was too stoned to put it together. And I think you turned to me, you're like, "Where are we?" And I go, no,
no, because I remember you wore those Pharrell pants, right? You had
those the checkered pink and black pants that I spent, the G stars.
Yeah.
I spent so much money on them and wore them 3 times, dude. And yeah,
they're gone now.
I gave them to someone.
Wow, you won 3 times, just gave them to someone?
I mean, dude, they were like out there. They were like, people would comment on them a lot. Maybe I couldn't handle the commenting. It's not that I was like insecure about it. She's like, it almost felt like you were traveling with like a relative that did heroin.
With those pants.
Yeah, because you always have to like talk about it. Like, yo, those pants. And you felt the need to be like, well, I got them here. Pharrell's line. You know what I mean? And maybe it was me. But it was always this insecurity of I always had to explain when I got these pants and the style because people, would comment.
But I remember everyone at the festival was talking about those pants.
Yeah, because
everybody was like, have you seen Dave's pants? Dave's a guy, purple, black pants like a checkerboard. Checkerboard on his pants.
Because I remember I had that also. I have this like leopard shirt.
Oh yeah,
remember that leopard shirt?
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring it to Lebanon. But I was walking out of when I lived in New York in Bushwick. I walked out, and this guy stopped his car, and he goes, "Yo, man!" He goes, "That shirt, man." He goes, "What the hell is that shirt? What the fuck, man?" And he just kept screaming, and I think he wooed, I don't know, and then drove off. So I was like, "Did he like him?"
Yeah. But also, yeah, it's weird to say that shirt. and then just not give any.
He gave no compliment, but he just kept like cussing and just getting super excited. So I'm used to wearing kind of clothes like that and getting, you know what I mean?
Vague responses of just
Vague
words.
responses.
That's like, hey man, I'm gonna tell you something. You ready? Peace. And
Yeah,
they just
gone. Remember I told you the WrestleMania shirt that Reem got me? It's the WrestleMania.
The
Like,
one that me and Reem got you.
Yeah, sorry, you got
Yeah, I
me.
was in on it
It's
too.
sorry.
I picked it.
Sorry. So it's the year of like the celebrating WrestleManias. And I was in Montreal, and this guy who was working this event was like, yo, I'm a wrestler. He's like, cool shirt. And then he goes, what's your favorite?
Wait, he said, I'm a wrestler?
Well, he goes, I wrestle. He goes, what's your favorite?
Like professionally?
Professionally, yeah.
Who was it? Was it Triple H?
No. It was like, he was like local in Montreal.
Oh, he's a local
Yeah,
wrestler.
he was starting out, I think, or he'd been fairly new. And he goes, what year's your favorite WrestleMania? And I had no answer. I said, oh man, let me think about it. So I go, shit. So I'm trying to think about it. And then I see this guy again, like, because I'm at the venue, right? Watching a friend tape a special. So he goes, yeah, hey, have you thought about it, man? What's your favorite year? I go, yeah, I still got to think, this is very important, right? So I go to the bathroom like maybe 20 minutes later, and we're peeing next to each other. And he finishes, he goes, do you got an answer? I go,
why is he pressing you so
pressing
hard?
me? And I go, I think, in the stall, or I wait in the hallway, and then I look up the WrestleMania that I was like, which one? The Bret Hart with, I had to look it up. And then I went to him, and I was like, this year. And then he goes, oh, wicked. Yeah, it's a good year. But I knew, a part of me felt like this guy stalled for like 2.5 hours. He's not really about this shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem with wearing a shirt like that. Is like, again, or with those pants, you better come correct.
Yeah, bro. Like, I don't wear shit that I can't explain.
That's the moral of this episode. Is like, don't wear shit you can't explain, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wear like a Rolling Stones t-shirt. And then people are just like, oh, you like the Stones? Oh, what's your favorite song? And I'm like, rolling on a river. Is that them? I got 99 Problems.
Yeah, you start naming Backstreet Boys songs. And they're like, what? I don't think so. But yeah, that could be the moral of this episode.
Well, I remember when you when you got lost. It was you, me, and Mo. We left the show, but that was my first time ever seeing you perform. And I was young-ish comedian.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was like I was still doing a lot of open mics, bro. Cause like, I mean, for years I would do like, especially where I lived, it was easy for me to do open mics. I was doing like 4 a day. 4 a day. Yeah. Right. In LA. Like basically I lived by this place called Marty's.
Oh yeah. And wait, not in Burbank?
No, on a Sunset. It's like Sunset and Martel.
Oh,
it's
sorry, my bad. Yeah, I think you have another spot.
Yeah, so I lived around there. That's when I lived with the white rapper named Scripture.
I didn't mean to laugh. Please
no,
don't.
It's okay. Yeah. He knows.
Okay.
And I would go to Marty's at 5. They had 3 rooms in there, so I would do 2 of those rooms. Then I go to this place called Rock Paper. Go there.
I know Rock Paper.
Yeah. Then I would go to Meltdown. Nerdist. I go to Nerdist. I do that spot.
You were in the whole. They were like so close to
each other. Yeah. And then I would go to Haha, and Haha had a 6 o'clock and a midnight mic. So I would basically do those shows. Right.
Wow.
So I would
that's good.
Yeah. And I was doing that almost every day. So I feel like when I got to Arab Fest, I was and I did those shows, and shows were fine. And I was still doing shows in the meantime, but I was still like grinding hard. And then I saw you go up, and like you were just not doing material. You were making fun of this guy for looking like Wolverine. You were like, bro, this fucking Arab guy like Wolverine, and then you were clowning him, and then I was just like, man, no material, like just like, look how hilarious I am. And I was just like, whoa. I was like, it's got to be the pants.
What's that?
And I want to buy the pants.
Dude, there's a pants give me magic. Dude,
my God.
They're like little pebbles I take.
You eat the thread?
Yeah, eat the thread, and I go up and I have superpowers. I am the Marvel pants guy. Just more. But you know what's funny? That I don't know if it was the same year where I was riffing with this person, and I was like, yo, man, you don't want to talk? I kept saying throughout the set, you don't want to talk? What's your problem? And he just was smiling. And then outside, his friend comes over and goes, he can't speak English. So I harassed this man for my whole set, just bullying him for no reason. Like, come on, man, you can't talk.
Yeah, but it was hilarious. Yeah, like the
I don't know
fact
if it's the same year, but
yeah, it was a similar thing though. Like, I don't know if the guy was like responding too much, but
no, they never really respond sometimes. Yeah, but I don't do it mean spirited. It's more of like I try to create
Yeah,
a story.
you're not
a
an insult
backstory.
comic.
I am not.
Insult
an
comics are
comic.
so weird.
Yeah, dude, I am not. I look at the camera. I go, I am not an insult.
Yeah, like
comic.
insult comics are like, yeah, is this a couple? And then the guy's like, yeah, and they're like, fucking loser. I'm like,
yeah, or you have no money. I guess you can't go on vacation, loser.
yeah.
Or is that your wife? I'll fuck her. Like, you know, like that kind of.
Yeah,
like,
bro. Like insult comedy, and it's just like, why are you like? What is that?
I think it should because you know how we watch rap.
Roasts are different. Roasts are like clever
because you know. But they should do. You should be a comedian that gives compliments. Remember how in the rap battles there's those rap battle compliments?
What's called boast battle?
It's called boast battle. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember they did that.
Is.
They did that on Wild 'N Out. I remember like Pete Davidson. Oh my god, he had a hilarious bar. Basically, the joke is you say Nick Cannon is so fly.
Yes.
And then the audience responds, how fly is he? So Pete Davidson had a hilarious one. He goes, Nick Cannon is so fly.
How fly is he?
I caught him having sex with my mama. And when I walked in, I was like, hey, handle your business.
And you gotta handle your business.
Oh yeah.
If somebody is having sex with my mom, they better be handling their business. That's what I say.
Yeah, bro. You ain't gonna come weak.
Yeah, you gotta satisfy it.
Better come through with the heat, player.
Did I ever tell you? I don't know if we can keep this in. Is like my brother-in-law was like, you know, I had been with these two ladies, and he's like, he goes, man, he goes, your problem is you put pussy on a pedestal. And then, but in my head, I was like, do you not put my sister's pussy on a pedestal? Because you should. It's my sister. Like, she can't be like not on the shelf.
I need you to step on the pedestal to get to my sister's.
Yeah, it's my sister. I was so afraid to ask him that. I was like, hope he, you know, but I don't know. I hope we can keep that in.
Yeah.
I say it like this.
That's hilarious. That's so funny, bro. Man, I thought it was like but basically when we left the comedy club, and then we smoked weed, and then we were trying to find where our train was, and I remember me and Mo were on one platform. We're like, "Where's Dave?" And you were across the platform on the other side. I'm like, "How did he get there?" I feel like you jumped down,
dude. A little rat. When I was on the platform, a rat looked up and goes, "Hey man, you look lost. Did you smoke weed?" I go, "You know too much."
What are you, a rat?
Yeah, I go, "What are you, a snitch?" And he goes, "No, man, I'm just a helper. I caregive during the week. I help the homeless out. I saved an orphan from a burning building, but it looks like you need help. Step down." And then the little rat, I got on the rat with 1 foot, and then he glided me across. And stuff.
Bro, rats have
just want you to know how like helpful the New York rat was.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like rats have such good adeb. Like,
you know, explain adeb so for the people.
Oh, adeb is like respect.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like, let's say if I were to walk into Dave's house, I would arrive with a gift.
Yes.
I'd take my shoes off, and then I would clean his bathroom. Like, that's like good adeb.
Adeb, yeah.
You know, in Arabi, they say adeb. Adeb is like good respect, you know? And I feel like rats, bro.
But not human rats, like rat people who snitch. We're not talking about
no,
those.
we're not talking about
like the actual rats.
Actual rats.
Yeah.
Bro, right? They don't want to be seen by anybody.
No, they're very humble.
They're so humble, bro. They just don't want to bother them. Like, all right, bye. And they're just like leave.
They're very bye.
They're not just like hanging out. Like, I've never seen a rat just like fucking chill. Like, rats are always scurrying away, like, because bro, they got shit to do.
Yeah, you don't see a rat on a cigarette break, and humans could take that. You don't watch a rat. Hey, I'm gonna go on vacation or smoke a joint, or I'm gonna talk, you know, about the media. They're always on the verge of something.
Yeah,
you
bro.
know?
Like, remember the pizza rat and the subway in New York? You hear about that?
Yes.
Bro, he's gotten no residuals,
Nothing.
no extra slices of pizza.
Not at all. Is that Hollywood that did this to him? Or is that the industry that fucked him over?
The fucking industry
has
fucked
taken
over this rat. A bunch of rats. Fuck the rat. That's not good edit.
It's not good edit at all.
Do you miss New York?
Yeah, I do. Some aspects of it I do. I miss the diners. I miss getting told to go fuck myself. I miss randomly being told things about myself that I didn't know from strangers. I miss like somebody lighting up crack and then a cigarette in the subway and looking at me like I'm the piece of shit.
Right.
I miss that. You don't really get that at other places. But yeah, I miss the bodegas, you know, being heckled or, being cut in line and being scared to say anything. So yeah,
It doesn't sound like you miss New York at all. You're just saying terrible things.
I'm not joking.
You're like, I miss being hurt.
Paul, it's called comedy. I'm trying to learn how to do comedy, so it's like maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I got this whole thing wrong, but no, I do. Okay, let me say, I'll give you something I will miss. One thing I miss is I miss the sandwiches that you can get at a bodega when I was eating meat.
Oh yeah, you're a vegetarian.
Vegetarian. Fuck, I don't even miss that. Jeez, hold on.
Dave, where are you?
Yeah, where? Let me breathe. Okay.
Bro,
I miss like you being able to hop around and doing like 6 things in one day, like that kind of like. Whereas in LA, you might not be able to do that because everything is a little bit far apart. So that's what I miss. That's a positive thing.
But what I was gonna tell you is like you're mentioning in New York how people are like, "Yo, go fuck yourself."
Yeah,
like their insults are so direct. Like when I was in London, bro, it was hilarious. Like this dude, bro, what this dude cut off my Uber driver. Then he rolled down his window and he goes, "Hey, why don't you take a piss?" And then the guy was like, "I reckon so." and then he goes, "Honestly, the bloody bloke's here." and then he's like, then he turned on his turn signal. He's like, he's like so.
Dude, that turn signal does not do a rant justice.
No,
because it just sounds like it's impatient, and it sounds mad at you.
Yeah, what the turn signal?
Yeah, goes, okay, you doing that again?
Yeah, it sounds like my girlfriend's like. Yeah. So
I love words like reckoning.
Reckoning? Like, I reckon.
You can, like, I can't say that, I think, with my voice. Like,
no, you can.
I mean, the reckoning is coming, but like you say it.
No, but I would say, well, I reckon that the reckoning is coming. Well, I reckon that. We can say that I reckon that. And that's fine. I mean, it feels very real to me to say it.
That you can say, like, say it then. Like, but I mean, I'll say it. Like, it doesn't feel it has the same impact.
Let me hear it.
Okay, I got to give you like a story, or not even a story.
Well, I reckon I'm about to hear a story right now.
Well, I reckon this.
Whoa, Slayer. Sorry. Are you a wrestler? You just turned into the wrestler that forced you to tell him what WrestleMania you liked.
I love wrestling,
bro. Also, I feel like he didn't even have to pee. Like he just walked into the bathroom.
I mean,
just to pull his dick out and be like, "Which WrestleMania?"
Yeah, because he, if I'm a wrestler and I'm aspiring to be a wrestler and I'm trying to come up and I see a guy wearing an anniversary WrestleMania shirt, I hope he'd be about it.
Yeah,
and he was checking me, not like checking me, and then I couldn't provide him with the answer, so I understand his journey because he needed to know. Because to him, he had one already. He goes, mine was so and so. And I didn't come correct, man. And that's again.
Right? I reckon.
If you're gonna wear the shirt, we said it already. You gotta know the business. And I can apologize. See, I brought it all back to I apologize.
Whoa.
That I didn't come correct. And I continuously wear shirts that maybe I don't have the information from. And that's a lesson for me. Maybe I'm a habitual shirt wearing, hoodie wearing. Hat wearing,
glasses having, knees exposed looking.
Who doesn't know information? And that there will be a day of reckoning.
The fuck. Woo! 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 Bro, Ric Flair was such a wild wrestler. Like the things he would say, like also like his confidence was so rare.
Like, yeah, there's no rappers put him in their lyrics. Wait, like he's a true inspiration.
Yeah, I saw this video of Ric Flair.
He must have been drinking too, no?
Oh, he was drinking.
Yeah, you think there was any type of like to be that alert or that natural charisma?
Oh, bro, I mean, it's a character, but like a lot of it is really a part of him. You know, like I've seen there's so many documentaries about him explaining his character, and they're like, dude, his character is like sort of who he is. You know?
Yeah.
And like I remember, he's old now. You know what I mean?
Dude, he still was wrestling too. Like, people are like, oh, my back hurts. I go, Ric Flair was at WrestleMania at like 60 maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, bro. And I remember like his move was he's always like slap the shit out of your chest. Bro, the chest slaps in wrestling, like they'd be like,
hey, red marks.
Yeah, bro. He would slap them so hard.
Sorry, it's very disrespectful.
Yeah, and then every time it slapped, the crowd's like, oh.
What would you rather have? The chest Or the one where they like, when they like gauge. I'm saying it wrong. Where they like kind of like rub your eye. Like, how they put you in a headlock. So would you rather have slap or which one's more insulting?
I'd probably do a slap just because it's like a Band-Aid rip.
Yeah, because the other one, I feel they're putting you in a headlock and they're poking at your eye. It's very insulting. It's like I look foolish. A slap I'll take.
Do you remember when they would like take your arm and they would do like the circle thing and they would basically twist your arm?
Yeah, 100%.
And then do you remember when they would, and now that the arm's twisted, they would twist it again.
And I'd be like this. I go, no.
Bro,
I'll tell you something.
One time I saw this motherfucker twisted a third time.
No, it's a twist when he's like this.
Yeah, he just looked like the guy that tackled Chappelle.
Just
like, his elbows look this way.
I'll tell you this because I'm being vulnerable. I want you to know I'm being vulnerable. Like, this is what podcast is about vulnerability.
This LowKey podcast is about vulnerability. It's about being real.
Yeah.
Like, Dave and I, even when we were in the car, we were talking about being vulnerable. We're talking about being real. Yeah. Also, I did find it. By the way, real quick, you ever like talk to someone before a podcast and you're like, hey, what's up? They're like, save it for the pod. Save it for the pod.
Save it for the pod. They love you.
I'm just asking how you doing. They're like, save it for the pod, man. And then we sit down. Then they're like, are we rolling?
Dude, and hold on. Like, and they're so angry about it, but we didn't save anything.
Yeah, and then the pod sucks.
Yeah, I was like, he goes, save it for the pod, and you think they're gonna come with so much thunder, and there's mist.
Yo,
it's not mist. Even. So this is for anyone who say save it for the pod. No, I don't want to save it for the pod. Let me get on a roll. Let me get fucking revved up, and then we'll do it. Don't say save it for the pod.
Yeah,
who
bro.
the fuck are you?
Yeah, and it's like
you have nothing. I'm not a computer. I'm not a file. I'm a human being, so I will not save it for the Paul. For the Paul.
Save it for the Paul. First of all, let me tell you something. I am Dave. That's my name. Who I am here. I save it for no one.
Also, what I wanted to tell you too, that's a good one though.
And you're talking about being vulnerable.
Well, I had friends as a kid. I think I did. I had friends, but I used to.
Yeah, Hugo.
Well, no, this is when I was younger. I used to do wrestling matches by myself.
Bro.
In the living room. So
I did too.
Did you used to throw yourself into the ropes and then close on yourself?
You clothesline yourself? How? Would you just do this?
Oh. Yeah. I would do the wrestling. I would wrestle. I'd wrestle myself. And my mom let me. My whole family let me. It's concerning.
Well, what I would do is not the physical thing. I had this tape recorder. I wish I still found it. I know it's long gone, but I had one of those tape recorders like from Home Alone. You know, the ones with like the one that he had. And I would imitate Paul Bearer. And I'd be like, The Undertaker is and I would make up fake storylines and plots.
In your head or?
On the voice recorder. I would basically just riff. And I'd riff a storyline. And I'm like, The Undertaker... and then one time I riffed and I was like, I am The Undertaker's father. And then like a week later, it was revealed that he was his father. And I was like, I
could have been a writer.
I could have been a writer as a kid, bro.
I should have emailed them and said, this idea was mine.
Yeah, but it's way too late, bro.
I
Paul Bear's dead.
When you were a kid on your computer.
And I sent an email like, hi, my name's Paul.
You had a little hat, like those poker hats.
but also what I would do is so I grew up in Southfield, Michigan. Yeah. It was a poor neighborhood. I always wanted action figures, and my dad would not let me have action figures.
The wrestling or just in general?
Wrestling.
Action? Oh, wow.
I wanted action figures. I wanted the ring. I wanted them to fight each other.
Oh, I had those. Sorry.
Yeah, I did not.
I had the cage as well. I don't mean to stop.
Yeah. What else did you have, Dave? What else did you have that I didn't have?
I had the small wrestlers.
Yeah, I had support.
Yeah, I had support. I had a good Christmas.
Yeah, I had pants.
I had loving parents.
No, my parents loved me, but like I think my dad just didn't want me to play with dolls.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. But
I think maybe that's the way he looked at it.
Might have. Yeah. This is
or we were poor.
Yeah, there's three things or two things.
I think it was both.
Yeah.
Like he was like, we're poor, we don't have a lot of money, and the thing is, it's hilarious. Like sometimes families, they don't want to let their kids know that they're broke, but my dad always let us know that we were broke.
Oh, really?
Like, my dad is like, Paul, how can I guess this? We are poor. Habibi, we are poor. Even the other day, I asked my cousin to bring me food because we don't have food. And then my mom would be smoking. She goes, you did not ask your cousin anything. And then he goes, what? Like, I think he was lying just because he didn't want to spend money.
Yeah, I mean, my mom was the one that spent, like, was like, yo, we need money. Like, you know, remember Blockbuster and
Yeah.
I had a Sega Genesis and a Nintendo, but Sonic the Hedgehog came out, and I think I was so hyped about it, but I was always renting games. But my dad was working on the house with his buddy Pete, and I'd go to my mom. I was like, I want to rent a game, like like all the time, like just ignorantly, like just commanding and bougie almost. I'm like, I want to rent a game, and she's like, okay, let me tell your dad. And then I can hear, like, she'd be like, I can hear her. I don't hear her, but I hear fuck. Because I knew, and then I'd see him storm out, and he'd never say anything to me, but he'd look at me like I'm working with Pete, and he would have to go to Blockbuster, and you know he hated that. Probably couldn't find the game. Took him forever and come back. But I remember being like, I guess I was a bully. I have no idea, but I mean, I loved it and stuff. But he didn't. What I'm saying is that he probably was like, why are we renting so much games? But my mom was always about. I guess she was a baller.
Oh
She was
shit!
always throwing.
She had paper player.
She loved it. She's like, my kids, you guys can have the world, right? Money and stuff.
My mom was the same way. My mom was like, whatever I can give you guys, I'll give you guys. And like when it came to like wrestling, like dolls, that was like the one thing that we didn't get. So what I did was I would play wrestling in the shower with shampoo and conditioner. Like I would be like Garnier Fructis versus Pantene Pro V in a steel cage match. And the thing is, I would take like the Pantene Pro V, I would lay it down, and then I would take it like this from the top of like the shower, and then I would throw it and let it land and hit. And the thing is, my mom had like this like she didn't have like a hair condition, but her hair was really thin, so she bought this like expensive shampoo that was like this purple shampoo. Yeah. So the thing is, I would basically throw it, and then when it would. Like, you know, like when they'd have blood.
Yeah.
So the blood, I would basically like let it squeeze out a little bit of like purple thing, and I'd use that as blood. So like basically it's like the Pantene Pro V has blood all over it. And then I basically did these sophisticated
Yo, this is way
matches.
more elaborate than getting the action figures.
Oh, bro. This was
Dude,
like...
you have a TV network?
Yeah, bro.
This soap have contracts? This
bro.
is wild.
And then like, remember Val Venus?
Of course I remember.
So Val Venus was Suave, and then the Suave shampoo.
Oh, good one.
So I'd basically walk like this with Suave, and then I would rotate it like this.
You go like this? Yeah.
Val Venus was the horniest guy.
This motherfucker,
ever.
was having sex all through that building.
He's like, yeah.
This dude was ready to go all the time.
Bro, like even his like finishing move was like he like 69 you or something. Like what was his finishing move? His finishing move was like he'd have sex with you.
He'd dry hump you, dude. I think he would dry hump the wrestler.
Bro, but I would basically do that, and also like my mom basically found out, and she got angry because I'd break the shampoo, because like the head of the shampoo, like the plastic part, would break.
Always, it's gonna break.
And then my mom was pissed, and then she was like, "Who's breaking the shampoo?"
Did you have to tell her you had a fake wrestling ring?
Fake wrestling ring. So what I would do is I would then use my mom's combs. So I would use my mom's like my mom had like one of those big Brussels, and I'm like, that's like Mark Henry. That's like the fat comb. And then I would use this other comb, and like they would fight each other. And the thing is, I would hit them together, and they would stick sometimes because the bristles, they would stick. Yeah. So I'd let them stick, and then I would stand on top of the bathroom counter, and then I would do a stone cold stunner from the fucking roof all the way down, and it'd be like, ah, then they would all break.
That was the finishing move.
Finishing move, yeah, and they would break.
Dude, because as you were telling this, because I had something to tell you that I felt insecure about, and then you told me this, and I don't feel insecure anymore. Because I created a fake wrestling league in my mind for 5 years.
Wait, was this recently?
This is like when I was younger.
Okay.
And I had like I made up like wrestler, like all of it, like backstories, their names, like their tights. That's
fucking cool.
That's crazy though,
bro. Why is that crazy? That's crazy, awesome.
But I mean,
you
that's
thought
like,
of a story?
Like, dude, 5 years.
That's cool, man.
There was a wrestler named Matt Bourne. Like I was making up.
Matt Bourne. That was my old agent. My old agent's name is Matt Bourne.
Is it? Okay. But it was just I guess.
Did Matt Bourne look like this?
No, he had like he looked like almost like Scotty. Oh, remember the Steiner brothers back in the day? So with the curly hair.
Oh yeah,
curly hair.
bro, remember that like metal wig he would wear?
Steiner, and then he became Too Hottie Scotty.
Oh yeah,
he got jacked,
bro. He was but he used to be Buff Bagwell.
No, I mean we have to look that up. That might be a different person. That's a different person. Yeah.
Wait, Mark. So Buff Bagwell was not Scott Steiner.
No.
They're two different people.
Two different guys. Buff Bagwell, because they all joined the NWO.
Bro, you know what's hilarious? Do you remember like Cactus Jack and and the other guy that
wait a minute. No, Mick Foley.
I mean, it was Cactus Jack, but then there was this other guy that was like, he had the curly hair. He was crazy.
Yeah, or Terry Funk.
Terry Funk,
yeah.
Bro. Terry Funk.
This turned into a wrestling podcast.
Wrestling podcast.
It's so funny that we're talking about straight wrestling that's the topic is that we're talking about.
Well,
we've been talking about wrestling for so long that this has become a wrestling podcast.
No, man. I mean, we talked a lot about ghosts.
We did. You're right. But we
didn't talk about like Doink the Clown.
Doink the Clown. Now you're just bringing up hits, dude. This is a straight wrestling. We're only talking about this, dude. Yeah. That's it.
What else can we talk about?
I don't know. I think I never thought the first podcast with you would start like talking about us and then go right into wrestling for I don't know how long. It makes me happy though, because I do like talking about wrestling. I don't know as much as maybe like a person who's really into wrestling. I'm saying this as I'm wearing a Sting.
You're wearing a Sting hoodie. Well, you know what I will say is that when we were in the car, we were on our way over here. Yeah. This is our first podcast that we're doing together. And like we wanted to do a podcast together. We were talking about what it would be like. And then we decided there's a different version. There's one version where we just have a strict set of topics that we want to discuss and things that we wanted to share. And then what we realized is like, we just go. Like, I think... Yeah, so I feel
that's my favorite type of like approach to it. Also, and it's good that sometimes bless their soul when they do 2 hours of a podcast. I'm always baffled by that. I can't. Well, maybe because I don't have that much belief. Maybe I don't believe in myself that long for 2 hours.
No, I get it, man. Like some podcasts are like a Chappelle set. Like it's like 4 hours.
7 hours of a podcast. People love podcasts to the point where they're like I was like, how long was the podcast? They're like 3 days. I go, holy shit.
3-day podcast. Trying to break a record.
Yeah, dude, was that Coachella? No, it was just a podcast.
Yeah, well, I like what I love about like I really feel like, and I know it might be cliche to say this, but I think Rogan does it the best, right? I love the questions that he asks and like how with his guests and like how vulnerable and open they all are. Like I listened to this episode with Jewel, bro. And
the singer.
Yeah, Jewel the singer.
Why did I say the singer? I knew it was Jewel.
Yeah.
The singer.
Yeah, but not the wrestler. Is there a wrestler named Jewel probably?
No, I said it like there was Jewel that was a magician.
Jewel that does close-up magic?
Yeah, I go, the singer.
Close-up magic feels so wrong.
Close-up magic could be fire. Intimate magic? Well, no, that is David Blaine.
Bro, I remember
David Blaine close-up magic?
Yeah, David Blaine is close-up magic, but also...
remember before? I know I keep cutting up. Remember when we watched at the beginning of the pandemic, David Blaine... I don't know why I didn't talk about it.
You're talking about the balloon thing?
Was it talked about?
Yeah.
Not as much as it should have been. The man was in the air with a balloon.
But I don't know why that's a magic trick. Like this motherfucker just took a balloon
I know.
And just went into the sky. And then...
Dude, we watched it for like the whole day. But I don't think it was it talked about, I'm saying.
People talked about it.
But not as much as they should, dude. Who's doing that?
Well, I think it was like Trump said. This is when Trump would say something, and then all the news would be washed. Like Trump would be like like you do an impression of like someone, and then that would like could just bombard all the news.
That's not fair, dude. Because David Blaine was in the air with a balloon, dude, and he practiced for so long. It could have ended wrong, but it didn't. Yeah. I know it may technically not be a magic trick, is what's the magic about it, but I mean, dude, he's in the air. That was terrifying.
It's just carefully executed. Like,
he's so calm.
Do you remember when? Oh my God, bro! Do you know what? That's what I love about David Blaine is like David Blaine is so even keel The guy, like, I remember one time he was standing in front of Harrison Ford. He was in Harrison Ford's house, and Harrison Ford is looking at him like this. He's like,
Harrison was jacked.
yeah. He's just like looking at him all confused. And then he took like a needle and stuck it in his arm. Yeah. It went through his arm and through the other side. And he's like, touch it. Yeah. And then Harrison Ford's like, no.
Harrison.
And then he goes, it's okay. No. Touch it.
No.
Yeah. Harrison Ford was like, no. And then he goes, okay, I'm going to pull it out now. Then he pulled it out.
Oh my God.
And then he had no scars, no nothing. Oh. Then Harrison Ford looked at me. He goes, get out.
Yeah, you got to.
And David Blaine straight up was like, okay. And then he took his needle, put it in his briefcase. He had a little like,
dude, he always looks like he's like half asleep. And he goes, well, I'm going to go up in the air with the balloon. And like he doesn't look like a guy who's gonna go in there with a balloon like that. He's just like, and I've been practicing for 73 days.
Yeah,
and I will get up there. But the oxygen, if it cuts off, I could die. What?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, he always said like the worst things ever, and he goes
calm about it.
He goes, one false move, and I can perish. And I'm like, what? But also like Chris Angel, like the difference between like, you look at David Blaine, looks like Chris Angel.
I like
Chris
Blaine.
Angel is so like goth, and he's like, hey, he's like, so I'm gonna hang up on some alligators and I'm gonna kick my feet up, and I'm like, bro, what the hell is wrong with? Like, I remember one time he was at a mall. And then he was like walking on this rope on a mall, and like he had like this thing. He was doing this bouncing act with no harness. And then like some guy was walking with his family, and like he didn't know what's going on, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And he like screamed it, and he's like, "Ah!" He almost like fell. Do you remember one time Chris Angel made Shaq float in the air? Do you remember that?
No, I didn't.
Chris Angel made Shaquille O'Neal fly. Shaquille O'Neal was flying. He made him fly. You didn't see this, bro? He made Shaq fly in a house. Man, I wish we could like play it over here. Oh my God, do we have the thing that can play it over here?
Look, though.
But that's like way too technical.
Yeah, this is the first podcast. Dude.
Yeah, I'm already like
this man.
I'm like, Mark, can we get special?
Man, can you get Chris Angel in the studio with Shaq to do it?
I'm like, hey Jamie, can you put that over there?
What if you turned on the news and David Blaine was on space? That was his final trick.
Oh, his final trick is that he's on space?
Yeah. And then he sends back the rocket.
But the thing is, he takes off and he has no mask. He's just on space breathing in.
Yes. And he has an alien family.
Well, honestly, bro, I think that
is his final trick.
Yeah, but I still think the balloon is cooler than that.
No, but then he goes, civilization will never be the same. And then he goes, poof, and he floats into the air with his family.
Oh,
like off of the moon into another planet and stuff like that.
Bro, with the balloons.
With the balloons. Yeah, he has to bring the balloons back.
Yeah, he has to bring the balloons. Right. Yeah.
Like,
bro, I won't be surprised if he does that. Because like also, I remember one time I saw Chris Angel. He goes, here's a razor blade. I'm going to eat it. And then I looked, and then he put it in his tongue. He goes, and then the guy's like, what? And he goes, do you see it? And some guy's like, yes, I see it. And he goes, okay. He puts it here, swallows it. And then he goes, opens his mouth. And then everyone's quiet. I think Snoop Dogg was there. Snoop Dogg was like, oh, man, you crazy. And then he was like, he like regurgitated the blade. And he's like, he's like holding it like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, why did you do that? Also, who practices? Bro, you see America's Got Talent? I remember one time this guy swallowed a sword. This guy swallowed a sword that was on fire on America's Got Talent. Took a sword, lit it on fire, swallowed it, held it, did a push-up, threw the sword out, and at the very end, he's like, he just did this, like, and then Howard Stern's like, are you okay? And he goes, yeah, I'm fine. He goes, yeah, well, I feel like you're not okay. Let's get an ambulance. He goes, no, I don't need an ambulance. I'm fine. He goes, no, we need an ambulance. And he goes, no, I'm fine. And then like he did not advance to the next round.
Because he wouldn't take the ambulance.
No, but at the same time, he goes, bro, I just swallowed a sword that was on fire. Like, and I coughed once. Yeah. He goes, let me cough one time.
Howard was like, hey, man.
Yeah.
You're not well. Let me ask you, if you saw a magician fuck up a trick, has he lost your trust forever?
It depends on how he fucked up. Like I remember one time I went to the Magic Castle and this dude like basically had to take the cloth and he like did that. But like the thing is he did that and like 3 cups broke. and then like everyone just looked and was quiet. And I was like, oh. And then he was like, hey guys, there's 50 pieces over here. 3's not bad. He's trying
to save the trick.
Yeah, he goes, bro, 47 success rate. 47 stayed, 3 broke.
He goes, cut me. He starts going to bits about his wife. He goes, I'm not happy at all. He goes, not one good cooked meal. I'm crying inside. She's supporting me, man.
Oh my God.
Magic thing isn't working out. She's a beautiful woman. Like breaks down.
Have you seen America's Got Talent, the magic that they do?
You showed me one summer. I said that like it was like
it was during the pandemic.
Yeah, we watched a lot of stuff during the pandemic.
Oh my God,
you did show me that.
Bro, I'd watch this guy, man. He basically took a card like this. He would hold it up in front of the camera, and it was just like a red card, and then just turns black out of nowhere while he's holding it. And then I'm like, "There's no trick." He just holds up a card that just changes. It was it was wild, man.
Dude, I saw one time this Arab magician. He went on stage and and he said, I have perfect communication with my family. What? And he just dropped the mic.
That's the trick. He goes, for my next trick, I'm going to not argue with my father.
That would be, you think it's an Arab magician?
Yeah, Arab. Yeah, that's actually a hilarious character, bro.
Look, this is, I would like to say this is how we wrap up this podcast, but I don't think who knows if we can do it on another episode, but we are at the 50-minute mark.
Man, we are at the 50-minute mark, man. And
what a time.
Bro, this is our first episode ever. I mean, Mark, man, this is our first episode ever.
Yeah.
Mark just basically did, he did this, which means...
he said, hey, go look, it's cutting into your time.
Man, buddy, what a fun time, man. For everyone listening, thank you for joining us. We are going to be back. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, like our stuff, follow us on social media. I'm at Paul Elia _.
I'm at Dave Merheje. Also, if Uzzer isn't the next episode, just please forgive us. We're learning.
Yeah, we're still learning.
Wait, do we have a Patreon too? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, we don't
Patron?
have we don't have a Patron yet.
But we don't have a Patron. But in case we get a Patron, throw some money into that. Is that what you say?
Yeah, throw some money into that, man. And thank you guys again so much for listening to us. Peace.
Feel so omnipotent. World traveler, my father was an immigrant. Earth magical, Chicago to the pyramids. Not in Vegas and Egypt, the world is much bigger than your block, your street, your tenement. Always remember the little things your mama tell you, kid. When you discover your soul, they try to sell you it. Then you learn love is as cold as a winter is, or as the winter is.